So, hi there, my name is Vipul and I'm co founder at QRapid. So, today we are going to talk about QRapid, my own startup, but in terms of product perspective, right? So, starting from where this idea actually began, right? So, if we talk about that, let's get back to restaurants. Like this product is related to restaurants. So, and restaurant ordering, right? So, how restaurants were ordering, like few decades before. So, as you know, like in restaurants earlier, they were used to give like paper bills, right? So if you go to any restaurant, they will just write it down on paper after your meal or something, and they will give the bill on paper and you just pay it, right? So that was the earlier method. Then there was something called as a cashier system, cashier machine, something like that. So which was kind of a machine, you can say, like where you can just you know punch the buttons. Like for example, there are numerical numbers, for example. So like for example, there is 12. 12 as a number, so 12 as a number is assigned to chicken tikka, for example. So whenever some person is ordering chicken tikka, uh, it will be the staff will just press 12 over here, and like they will just generate a bill of chicken tikka. So that is how they used to do after paper bills. Like, so this was kind of a second revolution if you talk about ordering inside restaurant. And so everything was done here by staff itself, right? So paper bills and cashier machine, these both are handled by staff of the restaurants. But the third thing which came, like as the IT boom was there, and like people now started switching to digital solutions. Like people had laptops, internet access everywhere. So now we have something kind of a POS system or RMS system. So restaurant management software, basically. Like uh, QRapid also is a restaurant management software on top. But yeah, this is the thing which people just started using back from 2013 or something, specifically in India. Right. So after that, like this was okay, like paper bills, cashier machine, and POS. The pattern over here is that in all the three of them, you can see there is always a manual touch of the staff member of the restaurant. So even in paper bills, you need physical person from the restaurant to generate a bill for you on paper, right? Same for the cashier machine and same for the POS, right? There should be some person who is handling that system, the POS machine, on the laptop or a PC or a computer. But then after this, like after COVID, to be precise, people started switching to more good solutions, which are QR based solutions, right? So this is what we have is a QR menu, for example, right? So you just have to, if you go to any restaurants, you might have seen in cafes, right? Like you go to any cafe or restaurant and you just scan from your phone, and you can place order from the phone itself. Like you can see the menu and you can also place order from phone. Like many of the restaurants doesn't have the ordering feature because they want waiters to interact with the customers. But yeah, many of the restaurants also have this ordering feature as well. And I think it's going to be prevail more in in this decade with the AI boom and IT boom which we have currently. So the thing is that you can see the top three: paper bill, cashier machine, and POS. Here the intervention was more of the staff member of the restaurant, right? But in QR menu, the intervention or the ordering is majorly handled by the person who is sitting on the table as a customer, as a diner, right? So this is the difference which we have uh, currently in this technology, right? So now, what is QRapid? That's the question. So QRapid is basically a QR menu solution along with a POS on top of it, right? So why QR menu? Like as of now, you might be thinking that QR is now everywhere. So what's different? To be precise, like in India, in cities like Hyderabad and in cities like Bangalore, which are IP hubs in India, which are tier one cities to be precise, there you can see 90 to 95% of the restaurants have already adopted QR menus. Not fully autonomous. You can just view the menu sometimes. Very few of them are still having order system. Like you can place order from that QR menu as well. But yeah, still at 90 to 95% are now digital in terms of menu. right? But that was not the case in Mumbai. Mumbai is also a tier one city, or to be precise, is the financial capital of India. But still, in Mumbai, like very few restaurants were having this technology. And I, being a residence, I am a resident also in Mumbai, right? So that's why we thought like we should be pioneer of QR menu in Mumbai. And this was the first thing like we observed in the market, like what exactly is happening in terms of this technology which we are trying to build. So we chose our destination as Mumbai first, right? After that, um, we had surveys with we talked with restaurant owners and a lot of other people as well, related to this, whether they would be interested to do this or not, right? So we precisely found out after testing, after surveys, after even implementing that, uh, majorly only cafes are very much interested for this technology. Why? Because cafes have Gen Z audience, right? Because even like fine dining and casual dining audience, it's not like Gen Z is not going there, but the thing is, a lot of different crowd is also coming to that place, along with Gen Z. So they cannot, and their presence and the ambience is also not does not fit with QR menu. If you talk about that, so that's why in Mumbai, people will use QR code in such an ambience where you should sit for a longer time. Like for example, cafes. In like usually we sit in a cafe for a longer time. Like that's what the practice is, which is usual. So in that space, like you need privacy and you need like you just need something like you can just place order from your phone. That's what you need. That's why we saw in our survey that QR menu is more prevalent in cafes. And so that's why I'll show you what exactly we built around that. So this is the first like a digital menu of one of our uh, cafes. Like product is also implemented there. I will not place order over here because it's already live. So the restaurant might see order. But yeah, let's if you can see the UI basically. So this is basically for a phone screen, but yeah, I'm on a laptop, so you can see how it looks on a laptop as well. It might not be responsive, but yeah, on phone it's properly responsive. So you can see there's a ad banner, like restaurants can place their own ad, or else we can also add our own banners or ads here as well. And like you can see like here is a restaurant name and all that search button. You can search food items, burger or something like. And then you have also the categories below, like you can same like as we have a physical menu, like we have categories and food items. So for example, if I click on toasties, like for example, so I will find all the food items in that category. For example, I want to switch the categories, I can just click over here and I can just switch categories wherever I want to go. For example, I go to salads and all those things, right? So you can see description over here. If you click on that, you can see all the description, whether it's veg or non-veg, what's the pricing and whatnot. You can also add filters like veg, non-veg, ratings if you want. So same like how you order food in food delivery, but this is inside restaurant. Like you're sitting inside restaurant and you're placing order. So there is no app. It opens on browser and like you can just directly place order from it. We are also planning to launch it in an app as well, but that's a future thing. So like you can just put add, but like add food items, you can increase quantity if you want, and you can just check items and you can just I will just show it to you. It's in a web, so that's why it's not getting responsive. But you can just add instructions over here, and if you click on confirm order, the order will directly go to the restaurant, right? So this is the thing. And so when it goes to the restaurant, how it looks, I'll just show it to you. So like I'm going to the restaurant dashboard. So this is how the dashboard looks like, right? So basically it has everything. Like it has table management, and then it has an analytics dashboard. So like you can see your reports and like a kind of overview basically. What was the today's sale or like, and that were like, so that's the thing. So you can just check like from the table menu, you can just manage all the tables like as a scarf. So for example, the customer has placed order right now, so you can just check all the orders of the customer. So for example, like if you click inside the table, you can also see the menus and the food items. Like for example, if anyone doesn't want to scan QR code, like we still have option, so the staff can directly put the order by themselves, right? So for example, I'm adding here pizza, margarita pizza, paneer tikka pizza, for example, and I'm just saving it, right? So you can see the table is green now, so that means the table is engaged. And once the meal is done, so you can just click on it, and you just have to print the bill if they want the bill, and you can just click over here. You can just choose whatever the option is: cash, card, online. Partial means you just have to, sometimes people pay via online and via cash simultaneously, so that's the option we have as well. So this was the minute things we kept in mind. Then pending, like sometimes in India, like people keep the bill pending, so they pay at month end. So they have a track inside the restaurants, like they have a friendly relations with the restaurant, so they can just uh, have a food on credit. So that's also option we have on the restaurant side. And others like Zomato dining, Swiggy dining, or Magic Pay introduction. So people also come from other apps and they book the table. So you also have an option to settle in whatever way they want. So for example, if I'm settling here in online, so I'll just click on online, then we'll do the order done button, and yeah, the order is saved, right? So if you go to order section, you can see the order over here, so which is paid and online, and you can see the time as well. If you want to see the details of it, you can just click on the I button and you'll see all the details. And you can again print this bill if you want. Like the customer comes in back and if they want the bill, you can just print it as well. So all the features we have, right from a person who was handling the system POS machine manually, we have all those things. But our main focus was QR menu. The fourth revolution where people are ordering from their phone by themselves, and that's why we named our product as QRapid. So you can see we have QR as the starting initials in our brand name, right? So this is it. And after that, so if I go overview of this product, so you can see there is a dashboard. So we just had a online bill, so you can see it reflected 272 rupees in online, right? So you can, this is like for the entire day, for 24 hours. You can see the timing and the reporting cycle over here, because many of the restaurants also are open after 12 12 a.m or something. So that's why we kept it in such a cycle that all the restaurants are covered, right? Because what restaurants want is like even after 12, they want the billing date to be the same as the current date. So that's why. So for example, like today after 12, even though people are sitting in the restaurant and having their meal, the bill settlement should be in the same date, not the next date. So that's what they want. So that's why we have such a reporting cycle, and it's compliant with the GST, and there is no problem with that, right? So then you have the menu system. So like we set up the menu for themselves. Like for example, when we hand over the software to the restaurant after onboarding, so we all set up the menu. So that's pretty much from our side. Of course, they can also edit few things. Like for example, they want to go and some edit the category name or delete it, they can just do it. Like for example, if they want to click edit on the food item, they can just edit the name, category, description, whatever they want to do on the menu side, they can also do that. Yeah, and they can also add new food items from here, so that's pretty much possible. And as I showed you the order, like you can see all the 24 hours order here. And if you want to see all the details of order, food item report, like which food item is selling more and which food item is selling less, so you can see that from here as well, from this report. uh, like and this is a testing account, so you might not be seeing a lot of data over here. Then you have the order report. So like you can so we give it a 3 month data. So like restaurant owners can download 3 months of data from here, like from the system. And like in the, you can see there's a download report button, so they just have to click here and it will download an Excel file, right? And this is the payment report, like what is the payment type and all those things we have. Then we also have another two modules which are very important in restaurant, like inventory and expenses, right? So as a post, like you can just take the data of the sales, right? What is the sales and how is the sales are going. But what about the inventory expenses? Because these two are also very important department in a restaurant, the inventory department, right? So inventory manager is there in restaurant, not in every restaurant, but generally we have inventory managers who manage all the inventory, who has a list like what to bring tomorrow and what is today, like what we are left with today, right? So they have both the things. And currently it is manual in our thing, because restaurants are generally doing it manually, but we are trying to implement it some AI features. Like so currently how they are doing is every morning they are like, if there is anything coming like inventory inward, like for example chicken or milk, so they just have to add in the inventory section, like so they just add the ingredients, or they will just do the plus over here, like they can add paneer or something like that. And at the end of the day, they also have to do a minus, or like what exactly how much quantity reduced, right? So this is the data which they are tracking currently manually. But as we have more and more data, we can put AI into this learning part, and with respect to particularly the restaurant, right? Not in general, like particular to the restaurant data, the AI will be trained, and AI will automatically tell us what is the uh, recipe, like you don't because what happens is like today many softwares have this in the menu, they have this is a recipe. Like for example, there is a margherita pizza, right? So the restaurant owner has to put a recipe of that, uh, and it's quite headache for the restaurants, like because not all restaurants will put recipe for or 300 items, because in India, like restaurants has 300 items in the menu, so it's not physically possible for them to write all the recipes. And like what if chef changes, right? So that's also a big problem, because there is a lot of transfers of chefs, so the chef changes, the recipe changes a bit. So the what happens is, so when you put margherita pizza order here, for example 10 margherita pizza are going today, so the amount quantities, like quantity of a dough, veggies, right? So it will alter definitely, because the recipe has been changed and or the chef has been changed. So that's why we are trying to bring something AI into it in such a way that now we have the data, like um, what was the no inventory, and what was the uh, sales, like, and the food item sales, basically how many margarita pizza was sold in that day, and what was the inventory condition that day. So we have both the datas. After that, what we can do is we can train in such a way that it will automatically check how many margarita pizzas sold today. The automatically it will minus from inventory. We don't have to manually go as an inventory manager and do minus or reduce stock every day. So this is what we can do, and it will save a lot of time for either people or the stakeholders in the restaurant industry, because inventory is very much big problem for the restaurant owners. And even like 90% of the restaurants are not using inventory, even though their software is providing, they're not using. That's the one reason, because it's very manual. So we have to do it AI friendly, and also expense, right? Because since you are tracking sales and inventory, you also have to track your expense. Only then you will get a profit and loss report, right? Because sales, then expense, then what is the profit, or even in a loss as a restaurant, you will get the idea about it. And yeah, this is the settings. Basically, you can just configure like GST and partner orders, like Zomato, Swiggy orders are also integrated into this. So Zomato, Swiggy orders also come to this dashboard. Like in the partner section, you can just add a partner like Zomato or Swiggy. And the FSSAI license we have, like you can add FSSAI license over here. So when you print a bill and give a bill to a customer, so they can see your FSSAI license number on that, right? Also on e-bill as well. So there is also e-bill we have. So once you click on order done, the e-bill will be sent to the customer, and restaurants can add their staff and all those things, and they can configure the printers. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like that's what we have currently, and this thing. We also have a super admin dashboard, which I'll just show to you, like how we onboard restaurant. So this is the dashboard which we use to onboard a restaurant. It's an old design currently, but we are just focusing on to uh, you know update it as well. So this is the dashboard which we have. You can see the number of restaurants we have, an active restaurant and right. So many of them close their account, but yeah, still they might be in an inactive stage. Uh, and yeah, so whenever we have to onboard a restaurant, so this is the overview button. So basically, you can see the overview of a restaurants, like all those things. So then we have a restaurant section over here, like you can see. So we can just search for any restaurant, and we can just go inside in the restaurant, and we can status active or not, and all the details we can see over here, and we can also edit. So from the super admin side, we can do all these things. And like if you want to onboard a restaurant, then we just click on this button, new restaurant. And when you click on it, like we can add restaurant details, restaurant credentials, room configurations, like how many, because restaurants have different rooms like AC room, premium room, something like that. And we also have parcel section. Parcel section is by default 5 tables there, but they can increase the table number of tables as well over here. That's what we have. Then the GST details and tax details, then admin details to log in, and like basically password and email and all those things. And yeah, so like this is the onboarding form. After this, like we just configure the menu and just set up the menu in the dashboard, and yeah, so our dashboard is ready to use. We can use it, right? So this, if you see here is a parcel section, basically which I was talking about, right? So yeah, and for QCash, like as we mentioned, like as you might have seen in my portfolio as well, like about QCash, if you might have read it. So QCash was basically MVP, which we just tested, which was a B2C side, basically a loyalty program. So the concept was we already have QR menus in restaurants, right? And we already have our own POS system. So we thought that why not to go one step ahead into B2C side, and that was about loyalty system. So you might have seen, like for example, in Burger King, right? When you go to Burger King, you have their own app for Burger King, and you, after having a meal from that app, or booking from that app, you get some coins, like loyalty points, and those loyalty points you can use only in Burger King, right? Of course, they have a lot of outlets in Pan India, but that you cannot use in McDonald's, right? Or even in small outlet wherever you want to go. So those points are only valid when you go to that specific outlet. But what we have built is a centralized loyalty system in such a way that any restaurant which are using our loyalty platform and or our POS system and QR menu, so they can also enable the loyalty system which we call QCash. So you can see the name is QCash restaurant. They have a separate onboarding. So if you go to any such restaurant, you will get some loyalty points which is named as QCash, and that QCash you can use it in the same restaurant again or any other partner restaurant anytime. It's not like you are bound to go to the same restaurant again. You are in a network loyalty which has different cuisines of restaurants, local restaurants, even chains and small and medium sized chains, and you can just use it anywhere. So this was the concept. We had MVP. We had tried it for a month, had a better response and good response. Like organically, without any marketing, like 40 people themselves inside the restaurant, they came and they used the product. Um, like after that, like we saw around a 12.5% repeat rate, like without marketing. So people not used first time, but 12.5% of the people came back and they used the product again, without any force, without forcing them. So that was a good sign. But the problem over here was, since now we our POS system is also evolving. It is not fully complete, to be precise. So focusing on two products with limited resources, that was a bad decision. So that's why we thought let's keep B2C aside for a while, and let's focus completely currently on the POS system and the digital menu, and let's make it streamlined. So after it is streamlined and SOP friendly, then we can definitely jump on to the B2C side. So that was the plan. And we also have one more feature like the assign QR. So you might be figuring out that why the QR thing is not inside this restaurant dashboard. Like restaurant should get restaurant should be allowed to download the QR from the POS system directly. But we haven't did that because QR, we wanted to make it centralized and streamline the process in such a way that, because what happens is whenever we give QR to directly print on the restaurant dashboard, so they will download it, they will print it, but where they will print on what paper, what size, we don't know that, right? And so it will vary from restaurant to restaurants. And if a customer is saying QRapid as a brand, the diner is saying QRapid as a brand, so it will affect QRapid, right? So that's why what we thought is we have a digital menus already in stock. So what we do is we don't give QR codes to download. Whenever restaurant we onboard, so we just go to super admin over here and we just select a restaurant, for example, this restaurant, and whatever tables they have. So we have the QR code. So we just click on the table and just come down over here and we just scan the QR code. And whatever the QR code is there, like we just put a QR code on the camera, so it automatically put that link. So this is the VPA link. You can see every table has a separate unique VPA link, right? So that QR code is getting assigned with this link, right? So first the QR code is naked. After that, once you scan this, so this link is getting embedded into that QR code, and then it can be sent to a restaurant, and restaurant will automatically place those QR code in the table. So that they can do. But the QR assigning part we have kept for ourselves, because we don't want to take a risk on the alignment or branding in terms of that. So that's why this is in that way. So yeah, so I just wanted to show you the upgrade basically. So we are upgrading UI wise as well as functionality wise. So this is a super admin which we are trying to build. Like you can have multiple things over here. So what's extra over here is that payment system. So earlier we had a manual payment system for the POS. Right. So now currently we will be integrating Razorpay into it, a subscription system, and also some messaging systems as well, like to automate things. Like if there is a payment due, so it will automatically send a payment update on the WhatsApp or message in whatever way we want, right? And along with that, we have proper features like outlets. So you can better onboarding form we have. So we can now have a not only restaurant but also an outlet. So for example, restaurant is different and now outlet is different. So restaurant is a brand. For example, there is a brand with 10 outlets. So we can also have that facility as well, which was not earlier. So these are the few things which we are going to implement over here. And restaurant profiling, like it should be better, and how it can be better than Google as well. Like Google, like business profile, of course it has a lot of information, but if tomorrow we want to switch to B2C, then it should not be a lot of work, right? So that's why restaurant profiling is very important, and it is also very important to keep an eye on that thing. Like it should not get messed up, right? It should be minimal, and that's why we kept minimal things into onboarding. And so onboarding is different and configuration is different, so we kept those things different. So that's the thing. So yeah, you can just onboard a restaurant from here again, and you can just go inside a restaurant and you can just check things. Like for example, if I click on it, you can just check things inside, like the table details and menu details, billing details, any flag or actions if you have, right? So table ordering is on or not, split bill, etc., etc. So all these things can be configurable from here directly on the super admin side. Then, like for example, as I mentioned, we will go into B2C side, so promotions can directly be handled from super admin if you want, or we can just directly put it inside restaurant dashboard. Yeah, so this is the thing. And so here is the billing thing, analytics, team members. You can add more team members department wise. So you can see over here, like we have role, super admin, admin operations. So yeah, so this is the entire single source of truth and dashboard for all the team members. Of course, the pages and all will be different depending upon what exactly your role is. So super admin will have all the access, like as a founders, for example, the activity in track support systems are also there. We will be integrating this with Zoho Desk, like so it will be separately handled by the support team. So they don't have to again come on the screen, right? So this is what we are planning. Thank you for being this long. If you like this video, just comment below, and if you have any questions and if you want to collab with me, just comment it down, or you can just mail me directly. I will put my mail details in the description. You can just check it out. And yeah, so thank you so much for joining. Have a good day.